welcome to Girl Talk. We're in Stoughton, Wisconsin, and we're filming at Conant Automotive. And in the background, you'll hear the sweet sounds of car care going on, and later we'll talk with Joe and ask him all of our crazy car questions. We always have so many questions about our own vehicles, and maybe they'll help you too. Can you believe this is fall?
I love it.
We're sweating here.
It's gorgeous. Love it.
It's hard to believe fall is upon us, but you know what? I'm not going to complain, even though we're kind of baking here right now.
We'll be wishing for it in a few months.
Yeah,
begging for it.
It'll be 40 by Wednesday, guys.
That's true. It is Wisconsin, right? Changes on a dime. With fall, we're going to be talking later about fall TV programming.
Yeah, Lisa will be on, which will be cool. She's kind of the programming expert at CW.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That's going to be really super
Fall
cool.
lineup, everything changes. People are more inside. They want to watch TV.
Yeah, and I hear one of the hot new shows is going to be The Flash.
Yeah. Flash is huge.
Are you a comics fan?
No, nothing about it.
Never go to Comic-Con?
Neither do I.
Me neither.
You know what though, the Flash, I got to see the preview, we'll talk with Lisa later, but it's such a cool show and people are really getting into the comic book shows. It has just been huge. It's huge on Facebook. It has just gotten so much media attention. And you were saying before we started something about a degree in this field now.
Yeah, so I just heard on the radio this morning that I believe it's Baltimore University is creating a degree revolving around the Disney-owned Marvel comics, how they've shaped this generation, or the generations past even. But I mean, you know, who are these superheroes, and it doesn't matter where you come from, what background you are.
So a degree program in...
Yeah, you can get your doctorate in Marvel.
So if you love comic books, you can actually go to school for that.
Yeah.
What do you think you'd do with that?
I don't know, but how great is that for kids growing up that are reading comics and your mom's always, you know, stop, you know, quit reading those comic books. Well, Mom, this is what I'm going to go to school for. I've got it all planned out.
You're not going to have to talk your kids into going to college anymore because they're just...
Right. And I think this is I believe it's the first of its kind. And so right now everybody's going to be rushing to Baltimore, right?
Yeah, but you know what, to answer Janet's question, I don't actually know what you can do with that degree, but I imagine there's a whole line of work out there because there's so many things now. I mean, think about video games, TV shows, everything that you see on the internet that is fascinated with the comic book world, and they've got, you know, Comic-Con all over the country now, and they're huge. And who said the nerds are running the world? Was that you?
I'm like, the nerds are taking over the world.
It's true, and it's kind of fascinating. But I also think it's fascinating to think about what that is kind of doing to the younger generation as far as like shaping their creativity, encouraging reading, and things of that nature. Because it didn't always used to be cool to read comic books.
Right.
And the fact that that's cool again, I think is cool.
Yeah.
And I've seen this show called Cosplay as well, where they design their own costumes and they go to things like Comic-Con. And it's such an awesome outlet for you to use your imagination in a different way and escape.
I feel so old.
Escape reality almost a little bit.
Oh man.
It's a comic book convention,
yeah,
and it's huge.
And you dress up. I mean, these people go all out for Comic-Con, and even like celebrities are really getting into Comic-Con, and it's just become such a big thing.
I'm just old and boring.
No, we'll get you into it. Don't worry.
Now you're in the know.
So we'll get to talk more about some of those things later, and about the shows that we'll have on our network that are of similar nature and have a lot of great expectations. And yeah, we just have a cool show coming up.
We do, yeah, looking forward to it. Stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss that. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. We are here at Conant Automotive and we are in Stoughton, and we are joined now by some folks from McFarland State Bank here at the Stoughton office. McFarland State Bank is celebrating 110 years.
That's crazy.
What an exciting accomplishment. So we're joined now by Shelly Edgington and Ann Olson. Thanks for joining us, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, we're very pleased to have you. Now, I want to ask you a couple questions. One in particular is, talk to us a little bit about being here in Stoughton and some of the ways that you're able to contribute to the community here.
Well,
You know, we have been in Stoughton just a very short time, but we've been a community bank for 110 years. So it's really important to us to be involved in the community. The people that work in our offices live here in Stoughton. We all do a lot of volunteer work.
Oh, nice.
We're involved with the food pantry. We just had a Shred Fest at our Lake Kegonsa office. We're actually on our way after this to the food pantry because we had thousands, it just seems like thousands of pounds as we're dragging it out to my car of food to take down there from people donating that when they came in to bring in their shredding.
So nice. That's
great.
so great you guys give back like that. What a wonderful way to just be a part of the community here.
And staying involved with our local chamber, we really support our local businesses. We shop local, whether it be our car services, a dress, you know, a gift. So we definitely support a number of different things. The school, staying involved in the activities, in volunteering time.
Lots of stuff. How do you have time for all this?
Some days
We're busy.
Yeah,
We're
you
busy.
fit it in, don't you?
Right, but it is nice because Stoughton is really almost a self-contained little community. You don't have to leave Stoughton for anything. It has everything here at your fingertips.
Really does. I think it's great that you're involved in the chamber too. We had them on a while back, and what just a great community to be a part of.
Yeah.
Ann's actually on the chamber board.
I am.
Yeah.
I've been involved with the chamber almost 10 years in providing a number of different things to Stoughton through the chamber.
Great. Yeah, great way to be involved.
Are there other things that you do to help serve businesses here in Stoughton in addition to being a part of the chamber?
Well, being a local community bank, we provide financial services, whether it's somebody buying their first home to starting up a new business, their normal day-to-day investments. So a number of different banking needs.
Sure. Do it all.
We definitely try to invest that money back into the communities that we serve. So we want those startup businesses and those businesses that are looking to expand. We want to help them with their financing so they have an opportunity to grow within the community, hire more people in. We help those people buy their first homes, things like that. It's just everything stays in the community that we serve.
You guys have really, you know, sort of set yourselves apart in the community as being the financial resource, and whatever that may be, whether that means a new home or savings or, you know, just looking for new ways to put aside a few dollars or save up for something important. You know, it's really nice that people have a staple to go to that they trust. So congrats on that.
Thank you.
Let's talk about kind of what a typical day might look like for you. Is it just crazy? Could be different every day, or what?
It is different every day.
Every day. It's constantly changing. I definitely think the banking industry is changing all the time. You know, it is a day-to-day. One day we might be out, you know, business blitzing, going in and visiting with our existing customers.
Guerrilla marketing.
Yes, we've done a number of different fun things. You know, we've got the Senior Expo coming up in October, so we may be out doing things like that. You know, and obviously serving our customers.
Absolutely.
So what would be the biggest reason that why should people choose McFarland State Bank versus another financial institution?
Customer service.
Customer service.
There is hardly anybody that walks into our financial that our staff doesn't know their first name. It's very personable.
Wow. Yeah.
We welcome them in as our family, truly.
That's so wonderful. Well, it's been just a pleasure having you, and you ladies have been so helpful for us and so nice. So we appreciate you coming on Girl Talk and letting us know a little bit more about McFarland State Bank. Thanks for doing that.
Thanks.
So if you need some financial advice,
Stop and see us.
come on over.
Absolutely.
Yes, here in Stoughton, McFarland State Bank. You can see Ann and Shelly over there. And we'll be right back with more Girl Talk after the break, so stick around.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. We are in Stoughton, Wisconsin. In case you couldn't tell, we're at Conan Automotive, and we'll talk later with the owner and ask him all of our car questions. But first, we have a very special guest with us right now. As we all know, fall is upon us, and with that comes colder temperatures and raking leaves, but TV shows, new TV fall lineup shows are coming, and so joining us, we have our very own Lisa Christensen from CW57.
Welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you, girls.
Hey,
Thank you.
So Lisa, the whole lineup looks new. What's going on? What's changed?
It's all new. Monday through Friday, all day long is pretty much new. The morning is revamped with local programming, of course. We have Girl Talk, Restaurant Show, Talk of the Town, and later in a few months we will be having a new doctor show coming as well. So we have local programming on at 6:30 a.m., 8:30 a.m., 9:30 a.m. So you can catch local programming in the morning all the time. We have OK TV as well in the Insider, so you can get your celebrity gossip, of course. I mean, who does not like celebrity gossip? Daytime has also been redone. We have Friends, The Office, Rules of Engagement, King of Queens. So really, your daytime is full.
Lots of comedy.
Lots of comedy, which everyone likes during the day.
Absolutely.
4 p.m. we have that redone too. We have Raising Hope, and then we have some more local programming. So you can always catch that. TMZ is at 5, more local programming at 5:30, and then we have a whole hour block of How I Met Your Mother before we go into the prime lineup. And then evening we have Cougar Town, which just started a few weeks ago.
Love Cougar Town.
Yes,
Yeah.
at 9 to 10, so you can catch a whole hour, Monday through Friday. And then we have Hot in Cleveland too, right after that. And then at night we have more adults, cartoons, Family Guy, Cleveland Show, and all that other stuff. But something for everyone during the week.
Yeah, really awesome lineup.
Yeah.
So I keep hearing about, you know, the new TV shows that are starting this fall.
Yes.
What does what's the CW going to offer as far as new programming?
We actually only have 2 new primetime shows coming up. One is Jane the Virgin, and that's actually premiering October 13th at 8 p.m. It's a great show, a lot of great reviews coming on board for that show. And then we have the Arrow spinoff, The Flash, starting October 7th at 7 p.m. So really only 2 new shows, but still, they're going to be great shows for everyone.
Yeah, and there's a lot of hype about these 2 shows. So Jane the Virgin, of course, is on the tip of everybody's tongue, and just an interesting new dramedy, I think they call that.
Yeah.
Which I've not heard that word, but I love it when 2 words combine. But also The Flash, talk about hype. This is all over Facebook, and I got a sneak peek, and it is the coolest show. So talk to us about The Flash and why the CW decided to do this like comic book type show again.
You know, The Flash actually came about from the Arrow. Arrow's going on its 3rd season. That show is getting a lot of steam as it goes on, which is great. It's well written, well done. The stunts in both shows are amazing. They're both well done. So I think the CW, when they introduced Barry Allen in the Arrow for 2 episodes, saw people wanting more about Barry Allen. So then they're like, let's give him his own show.
Yeah.
They are somehow going to intermix the 2 shows in November. They're doing a crossover, 2 episodes.
I love
Very
that.
Flash
cool.
and the Arrow.
The
Yeah.
Arrow has so many great followers already.
Yes.
That's what a great idea.
Yes. So it's going to be one night, you know, they're going to be on the Flash. The next night it's going to be on Arrow. So it's going to be a lot of mixture going on.
Yeah. And one thing that they said too, and it's totally true, is some of these shows, and The Flash is no different, are literally like watching a mini movie. They are done that well.
Yes, these shows are done so well. You feel like you are watching a movie. It's impressive how much they can get done. The stunts are done so well. You have to really give it to the writers, everyone behind the scenes, along with the actors as well.
So the DC Comics fans have something to really look forward to.
They have a lot to look forward to. Comic books are making a big way on prime time because you have other networks that are also starting to go into that as well.
I read that at Comic-Con and got a rave reviews. But let's move
Yes.
on to Supernatural. So if someone's a Supernatural, the show, the television
Yes.
series, Supernatural, big fan, they have a milestone coming up. And why is that a big deal?
They do. They're going in their 10th season. And then on top of that all, which is huge in itself, they're doing a 200th episode. How often
Wow.
does a show do 200 episodes?
Great.
Yeah.
It does almost no show can get to that milestone. So that's a huge milestone. I believe that's going to be towards the end of the season, but that's a huge milestone.
That's awesome for the creator. He worked so hard and so long before it actually came to fruition. That's really, really neat.
Exactly.
to hear.
And again, you have to give credit to everyone behind the scenes. If that show behind the scenes wasn't working as well, they probably did, you know, something wrong, but everything seems to be working well there.
Well, we are out of time. We could go on and on
went
about
so
this.
fast. I know.
Obviously very excited. We're going to have to leave it at that. Maybe we can do this again sometime.
Definitely.
Thanks for coming in. This was so great to have you here with us
Thank you for
today.
having me.
Nice to
Thank
see
you.
you.
We'll be right back at Conant Automotive with the owner, Joe.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. In case you haven't noticed or heard some of the sweet sounds here at Conant Automotive, we're out in Stoughton and we are finally joined by Joe Conant, owner of Conant Automotive. And today we're just going to pick Joe's brain a little bit. We've all got our questions that we want to ask about our own vehicles, and hopefully they'll help some of you out if you've got some of the same questions, because Joe is the expert. He's going to give us some tips. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for joining us. Okay, so we're gonna pick your brain a little bit.
Okay.
I have an older car, and I've had it since it was brand new, actually. Bought it new. I've had it 7.5 years. I've now got 120,000 miles on it. So I just moved back here from South Carolina, and I had a regular place I went. They used to send me reminders. They don't anymore because I'm here. What are some things I should be looking at 120,000 miles in terms of just regular service?
Well, the first thing, go into your owner's manual or go online for your particular vehicle, and that'll tell you what interval where you should be at as far as all your fluids, your tune-up, if the vehicle has a timing belt, and so on. It's relatively simple.
Okay, I can handle that. I gotta read.
Gotta read.
Man, or I'll just call you, Joe.
There you go, just call us.
Sounds good. And what was your
I had a
question,
question
Kristen?
too. So I just had my car in, well, I shouldn't say just, maybe like a month ago, and for its regular maintenance, and I got it back and the check engine light was on, I noticed. So then I called and they said, oh, well, maybe did you fuel up? Maybe the cap was loose. They kind of made it sound like it wasn't a big deal. But, you know, then you get busy with life and
Right,
is
it's
that a
easily
big deal?
forgotten. Yeah, it is. Because you have one light that basically warns you of, could be as much as 700 different codes
Oh boy.
that the computer could tell you. So yeah, you have one light. Well, it might not be that severe right now, but if you let it go, it could be as much as 20, 30 different problems with that vehicle.
What are you doing after filming today?
There we go.
All right.
We'll look at it.
Thanks.
So my question is about tire pressure. I know that keeping your tires inflated is good for the tire, it's good for gas mileage, but I've also heard that you can go a little bit above the recommended amount and get better gas mileage. So, but I'm wondering, is that okay to do, and how much above the recommended amount is okay?
In some cases, let's say if you've got a vehicle that you're towing a camper and you're going on a long distance, yeah, you'd probably want to up the pressure to its max that's on the tire. Look on the side of the tire, and that'll tell you the max pressure it should be at. Overinflating a tire for gas mileage, yeah, that can work, but on today's tires where the tires are this wide, if you overinflate the tire, it'll start wearing out the center of the tire prematurely. So you don't really want to do that either. The best thing to do is keep it at the max inflation that's written on the tire. The other thing is nitrogen is getting to be more and more of a popular thing to put into tires. Nitrogen will keep the tire pressure at a constant pressure over a longer period of time than just regular air.
So it doesn't fluctuate with the temperature as much?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
It's an old racing, NASCAR uses it. They've used it for decades because it'll keep that tire pressure at a constant pressure, hot or cold, or about that.
Yeah,
and
I know.
that will increase your fuel mileage, increase longevity of the tire. There's so many benefits that you can't really list them all.
And a little less running back to the thing to add some more air if it's getting
Right.
colder and that kind of thing.
Correct.
I liked your point too when you mentioned to look at the actual tire rather than the sticker inside the door, because my tires are no longer the original tires.
Correct.
I thought that was really interesting.
And make sure when you buy a tire or you get tires that they rate they get the right tire for your vehicle, because there's so many variables there. And don't always go with the cheapest price tire. That's always a no-no, because you're not going to get what you want. And realistically, for what you pay for tires, yeah, they are a high-priced item, but they're keeping you on the road. They're keeping you stopped. They're keeping you going. They're keeping you safe. And it's just something that people overlook an awful lot and let tires go to the last mile.
Yeah.
And it's, I'm on the road too, and I want Yeah, it's
Especially heading into winter, you know,
Yeah.
you get a little bit slick
Yep.
and you've
yeah.
bad
Well,
tires.
anytime. I mean, raining. It's just because we're summer, rain. You can still slide off the road
Good point.
from bad tires. So
So we're soaking up the last little bit of sun here, trying to catch our memories of summer. But as Janet said, it is starting to get colder. Are there any specific tips that you have for folks going into winter of things that maybe we should have looked at?
a good battery. That's the key. It's not 20 years ago or 30 years ago where we had carbureted cars where you needed tune-ups, this and that. I'm not saying don't get your vehicle tuned up, don't get it checked, but a good battery is the key to everything. A good battery will make a car that's so neglected on its tune-up and maintenance still start. And I recommend every 3 years, even if a battery is rated for 6 or 7 years, because the battery is going to fail with you when you're in the grocery store on a Sunday night when it's raining or snowing. So for what a battery costs, it's relatively cheap for what you're going to get.
Cheap insurance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
batteries are overlooked, and they're, again, don't always go with the $29.95 battery. Get a good battery. Spend some money, because if you go what it costs you per month for that battery, it's nothing. It's less than going to the store and buying pop every 2 weeks, realistically. So, but yeah, a good battery is the key.
Well, going back to tire pressure for 1 second, like how often should we be checking that? Like, should we wait till a light comes on, or
No,
should we?
no, that's when it's too late. Basically, since the good old days of the full service gas stations where you go and gas up, and they would check your tire pressure, they would check your wiper blades, they'd check your oil, they'd check everything. Those days are gone. So now it's on us, the car owners, to make sure that the tire pressures are checked. But to answer your question, especially when it gets cold, when we have a big dip in the temperature, I would say keep it going like once a month, because you're going to lose air pressure. I think it's like 4 or 5 pounds every month is you lose. Well, if we drop crazy, going from a 20-degree day to a minus 20-degree day, we see a lot of cars in here for flat repairs because of the temperature change.
So if my car
Really?
says check tires, that means I'm getting a flat tire.
Yeah, you need to stop waiting for
True
the lights.
story.
Didn't you have two
Come
flat
see
tires?
Joe.
Well, Joe, we appreciate all the pointers, and you're the expert, so thank you for coming
thank
on
you.
our
I have
show
fun.
and helping us out with these pointers. And if you have any of these questions, this is the guy to come see over in Stoughton. Worth the drive if you're not nearby, here at Conant Automotive. And we appreciate it. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining
guys.
us. Thanks to our guests, and thank you for watching. Please join us next time here on Girl Talk.